Well, good evening. My name is Ken Burke, and I am honored to be presenting to you a presentation on this X39 stem cell reactivation patch. And do thank the person who invited you. And do bear with me. I'm out of town at this moment, and so but the show must go on. And so I'm actually in a hopefully a quiet area of a beautiful hotel down here in Bradenton area, and so that's where I currently am and bringing this presentation to you. And so the presentation I'm going to screen share with you here shortly. You're going to find yourself being one of three people. Either one, you love what you see, but you want to do more research. We totally get it. Or two, you love what you see and want to get some patches on you and your family and loved ones. We can show you how to do that. Or you're number three, you like what you see. You would definitely want to get some patches on you, your family and loved ones, but also you want to hit the go button on this amazing rewarding program offered to those who share it. And so, for instance, right now, there's an amazing Hawaii program they're going to be offering people that you could, no lie, it's not hard at all to earn this by just carrying and sharing this amazing opportunity with other people. And you're going to find out more about that. But it's just so exciting. And my wife and I have been on several trips, six of them in the last 38 months with this company. And it's just been a blessing from being rewarded from sharing hope with people and changing lives. It's way better than business. It's about people and trust. And and so also in this presentation, just know that I'm going to share it much like going to a buffet. You know, when you go to a buffet, there's a lot of food there. And when I'm super hungry, I wish I could eat all of it, but I can't. So I cherry pick what really appeals best to my palate. And so tonight I'm going to be giving you a buffet of information for those who maybe want to do more research, those who want to get some patches, and for those also who want to hit the go button on this rewarding program offered to those who share it. And so I'm going to share the whole thing. So you're going to get all of it. And then you just pick from what you like and then get back with the person who invited you and tell them, hey, which one are you? And they'll help meet you where you're at and get you started on how you'd like to do. All righty, without any further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen with you and we'll move forward from there. And hopefully in the next 35, 40 minutes, you'll be sufficiently supplied with whatever you need to be able to make the best decision for you. Okay. And skip this. Okay, the question I'd like to ask everybody is, hey, have you been patched yet? Because whether you have or haven't, here's what's going to happen once you are. This patch is going to elevate a specific peptide called the GHK copper peptide, GHKCU copper peptide. And when that patch elevates, then your stem cells that are dormant in your body right now are going to begin to turn back on. And what is that going to do? Well, the brain now is going to be in a position to begin to regenerate your body. And it is absolutely phenomenal because no one in the world has this technology. And so David Schmidt, he is the CEO and founder and inventor. And all you have to do is get on YouTube and look up on YouTube 200 patents and counting. And later, after this, just go on YouTube, not Google, YouTube, 200 patents and counting, and you'll get to know about David Schmidt. Here, this gentleman has over 200 patents and counting. He is a genius when it comes to amazing things that are changing people's lives. And so he's a scientist and inventor. He also is the CEO and president of this company. The company started about 21 years ago, actually on August 13th, because that's the same date of the year. I came in August 13th in 2022. David started this company, I believe, in August 13th of 2020, by 2004. So 21 years ago, David started this company. And he was hired by the Navy SEALs to figure out a way to keep them awake underneath the water in these specialized submarines for like 30 hours without having to give them amphetamines. And David believes God gave him the ability to come up with this idea for this type of patch. And it was two of them that looked just like this that worked together. It's a patch that works off light in the body, and no one in the world has this technology. David patented it, and it worked. Gave the Navy SEALs energy they needed. That led to the women's Berkeley swim team finding out these patches. They began to best their times. That led to Michael Phelps during the Olympics wearing these two patches, this technology. This is Olympic-approved technology. Why? Because nothing's going in the body. It's like therapy, and we'll explain more about that in a minute. Well, what's pretty powerful is David then started creating other patches. But then in 2008, he turned his attention to stem cells and age reversing. And over 10 years, 80 clinical trials, $4.5 million pumped into research. He finally figured out his 39th patch. That's the name X39, and got it patented by the United States government. And that's a big deal because you can't patent a placebo. And all the clinical trials and studies that went into this, the government researched it, said, yep, it does what it says it does. Here's your patent. And I like to tell people, listen, when you try to Google this information, you're not going to find it. You'll find a bunch of opinions and things that have nothing to do with what this really is. Believe me, the United States government didn't Google to go approve this patch, nor did the Olympic Committee, who approves this patch, Google it. They looked at the science, right? And we have a website for you that has all the science, the clinical data and trial studies, double-blind, randomized control studies, everything that went into this thing, which is not a drug. Thank God for that, you know. And but this patent right here is a 31-page patent till 2040. No one in the world has this technology. No one has a way to turn on your dormant stem cells, and we've got the cookie. And here inside this 31-page patent, here's an excerpt right down the middle of the page here on the left. Start reading from the middle. It says that as a result of elevating this copper peptide, it's going to activate stem cells. It's going to improve energy. It's going to elevate antioxidants. It's going to reduce inflammation. It's going to manage pain. It's going to improve stamina. And it's going to elevate collagen production and improve wound healing, just to name a few things. Now, in the past 40 months, 39 months, my wife and I have been in this, we've seen this and much more. And remember, it's the patch, not the patch that's doing this. It's your body being restored to be able to do this. And it's absolutely amazing what it can do. And so you and I, when we were in the womb, the very first cell we were was a stem cell, one cell. And that morphed into every cell we now are. And then by God's design, you were given a reserve of those things for healing, repair, and restoration. And so when you were 8 years old and you broke a bone, guess what? Your brain sent your own stem cells there and they morphed into bone, marrow, tissue, ligament, joint, meniscus, whatever. But when you're 8 years old, guess what doesn't happen? That doesn't happen. Why? Because by the time you're 30, half your stem cells are now dormant, half of them. Aging is setting in. The faster you age, the slower you heal. That's clinical. By the time you're 60, 90% of those stem cells are now dormant. And but guess what? You have the ability to be the next miracle for the people you love and care about in your life by just sharing this ability to turn these things back on with this patch for them, because their stem cells are there, but they're dormant. And you've got aunts and uncles and even kids and friends and family that are suffering in some capacity, sleep, stress, blood pressure, all kinds of stuff, that the body is under duress now. And you have the ability to be the next miracle for them, as our dear friend was for my wife and I 39 months ago. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. But so how does this thing work? Well, this has a proprietary form of phototherapy. What do I mean by that? Well, you and I emit light, infrared light, 24/7. If we were in a pitch black room right now, we couldn't see anybody. All you got to do is put infrared goggles on, you can see everybody. Why? Because we all emit infrared light. That light is a mathematical frequency, and that's bouncing off this patch in my hand. Boom, right? Going back in the body, light is nothing going in my bloodstream, nothing's transdermal, nada. No, it's light therapy reflecting back in the body, elevating this peptide. The brain says, thank you, I got it. Starts turning on all your dormant stem cells. That's just one of the things it's doing. And so there's no drugs, no chemicals, no stimulants, nothing transdermal. I'm not re-injecting my own stem cells back into me. And I don't know what status those are in. These get turned on to a much younger state with this technology versus just injecting stem cells back in. Difference, right? And it's non-invasive. So I'm not injecting someone else's stem cells either. So nothing's being injected, and it's amazing. It's not a transdermal patch. It is a light therapy patch. Nothing goes in the body. And you get a space on this, you will get stronger. And as we get older, it's important that we get stronger, right? And reduce inflammation. Anything with the word itis behind it has inflammation. So now you're going to nip that in the bud. Stamina. Could you use more stamina? How about some energy and vitality? Could you use some more? How about mental clarity? For me, 2.5 weeks in on the patch, I had no idea this was going to happen for me. The stress I had running my 18-man advertising company for 10 years went from about 85% down to 15%. And that never really came back. So my stress now is here. And the gap that I now live in is called living in the present. Had no idea what the heck that was. And I love it. So now when I go on vacation with my wife and kids or what have you, or grandbabies, and or just with my grandchildren, I'm present. It is so great to be present when you're on vacation or present when you're with loved ones versus thinking about five other things that they're talking. What a gift. I had no idea that was going to do that for me. Restore muscle skeletal condition. You have more collagen in your bones than you do calcium. So my wife and I, we haven't had any cavities in 3 years, and we were getting cavities, and my gum pockets have filled in. We were just talking to a friend just on the last meeting. In 3 weeks, the sensitivity of his gums now have has receded, and so now his gums are getting better. And um, but it's just there's so much more to think about your bone density getting thicker. Improvement in sleep. If you're looking to sleep better, you potentially come to the right place. Many of us sleep way, way, way better, and it's such a blessing to dream more vividly, going into a deeper state of REM, deep sleep. It's awesome. Improved skin appearance. I'm going to show you my wife here because this is kind of crazy. So look at my wife here on the right. If on the left, this is before he got on the patch. 2 months prior to getting on the patch. Look how short her hair was, right? And she didn't cut it that way. It was getting shorter as she was getting older, and she was getting thinner. How you like getting older, right? Well, look at her on the right. Look how much more hair she has now. 3 years later, this was 2 months ago when we were in Ireland. No, that was on a cruise. The month after that, we were in Ireland. Did a lot of traveling. And and look how long and thick her hair is now. And she looks younger. Now, the guy on her left, I don't know about him, but she looks dang good. So, but no, I actually have more hair now than I did then. And I used to have a gray splotch of hair here, and I don't. My eyebrows are grayer now, they're not. So, and not to have any cavities in 3 years, pretty crazy. And I don't think that's anecdotal. I think that's definitely because you have stem cells in the base of your teeth. But my wife had hot flashes, 10 to 20 a day. It was awful. And I felt bad for her. Heat bothered her, hot coffee bothered her, wine bothered her. And then she had this fight or flight syndrome going on. It was crazy. And day 21, all that came to almost a screeching halt. It was September 9th. It was a Monday. 2022 was a holiday. And I think it was Labor Day or whatever. And I was amazed that all of a sudden she wasn't having hot flashes and she's starting to feel better. And then a few months later, hip pain of years. She had hip pain for years after giving birth to 5 kids. And boom, no longer. And her wrist pain went away too. Just amazing. And just as this thing, they recommend it and not recommend. It's recommended you wear this 1 month for every 10 years of life to get started. But I'm telling you, it gets better as the months go by, as the older you get, and particularly at our age, I'm 60, my wife, she's 30, just kidding. It looks like she is, but we just feel so much better, and it's so amazing. And your heart also, it's the number one killer today is your heart disease. Your heart is going to get younger, right? Because damage has created things to your heart from age because of the absence of stem cells. Turn those stem cells back on, well, naturally, your heart's going to begin to get restored. Your cardiovascular is going to get better. That's why you sleep better because your cardiovascular, excuse me, so more blood and oxygen is going through your body. I had a friend of mine had a stretched aorta. They were going to give him bypass surgery in 12 weeks. He gets on the patch and for unrelated reasons, goes in for the surgery. They scan him, pre-scan him, said, "Oh, Mitch, your heart is no longer 35% stress. Now it's only 5%, no need for surgery." We've seen countless testimonies of people's hearts. People's pacemakers didn't know they were off for 8 months, but the heart functioned fine. We patch. I told you about the collagen in your body, your skin, your hair. We tell people, take a picture of your face the day you get on the patch, and then take a picture 90 days later. Look at the difference. Brain becomes balanced. Told you about that. Your genes reset to a younger state. Third of them, one of them is one that turns on dormant stem cells. How do you wear the patch? 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So put it next to your toothbrush in the morning, slap it on. You can put it anywhere in the body. They test it in the back of the neck and below the belly button to get the patent, but you can put it anywhere in the body. All you need is one. And so put it on in the morning, and you want to wear it during the day. That's what's recommended when your body's on the most amount of stress. Put it on then. So put it next to your toothbrush in the morning, 12 hours later after dinner, take it off, throw it away. You can put a alarm on your phone or whatever you need to do to make it easy. And if you forget to take it off, it's like therapy, no side effects. Just get back on the horse again and do it, 12 hours on and then 12 hours off, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So we're 12 hours on, 12 hours off, rinse and repeat. And it's pretty spectacular. And by the way, if you have any pets or animals, take your used one off and put them on your pet or animal anywhere in the body on them where it will stay on a collar, what have you. It works up to 6 inches off the body. And why do I say that? Because my daughter with her black lab bear had a hard time getting up on because he was getting arthritis and they couldn't jump up on the bed. We said, put your patch on. Within a week, he's jumped on the bed. Had another downline team member of ours, dog had this wild cough, could not quit coughing. Veterinarian's going to get him to stop coughing. I said, put the patch on the dog. Guess we did. Stop coughing. Went to maybe a couple coughs a day. Who knows, right? The body's designed to heal itself, and this patch is, helping. There's no placebo on a pet, right? Um, so the testimonies are amazing. I think I may have a friend of mine on here. I don't know, Pete, if you're on here, if you are, I'd love to be able to hear your testimony. If you could share with us, Pete, and unmute yourself, and because love to hear uh, your testimony with us, Pete, if possible.
Hey guys, I'm here.
Oh, good, 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 good. All right.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Sorry, I'm driving, so my camera's off, but I'm blown away. I think lots of us who go on this patch hear some things about it that it's done for other people, and hope that it's going to do the things for us that we need it to do. And I really wasn't. No, I don't geek out on too much stuff. I heard enough to get me really excited. And my wife and I started on the patch. And the first thing that I noticed 3 nights in, for the first time in 5 years, I slept 7 hours without having to get up for any reason at all. And I was kind of shocked by that. And it happened 4 more nights in a row. And I thought, stem cells, collagen, we're 8 days in. This patch can't be changing my bladder or my prostate, all the things that, they tell you get up in the middle of the night to pee as you get older. But what I realized is I wasn't getting up in the middle of the night because I had prostate or bladder problems. I just wasn't sleeping deep enough. I got little kids. My kids wake me up in the middle of the night. I got donkeys and roosters and goats and dogs and the different noises don't wake me up anymore. I'm finding myself, I'm going to bed an hour earlier now. I'm waking up an hour earlier and I'm just sleeping deeper. I got an enormous amount of new daytime energy, but in an enjoyable way, not in a caffeinated kind of way. More of a just a calm, focused daytime energy. Um, it really is kind of a happy patch because you just feel better. You sleep deeper. You're more awake when you're awake, and you're more tired when it's time for bed, and you sleep deeper when it's bedtime. I just noticed in the last 2 weeks that my nails are growing faster and healthier. And I'm having to trim my nails more often, which is kind of a cool sign. People are on Zoom calls, people ask me what I'm doing. One of my business partners just came into the company and went on the patch, and I haven't seen him in months, except for a couple of Zooms. And he's like, dude, what happened to you? And I said, we got to talk. We got to talk. So what else is going on for me? Calm, focused energy,
Well, you have like
better sleep.
105 massage therapists who work for you in your companies, right? And don't you have a lead one who works on you? Didn't he notice something about you
You
or
know what? That's another really big one, and we have a health tracker in our company, and that's a super important thing to get your health tracker out and get it to your new brand partners because you do forget. One of the most. I'm 53. I still play beach volleyball twos, and I got little kids to keep up with, and my wife's younger, and she's putting up with me still, which is a blessing. But I used to have ankle and knee pain every morning. I got hard tile floors and I'd hit the ground and kind of walk a bunch, get outside, do some grounding and try to get sort of work out the kinks. There are no kinks anymore. The anti-inflammatory messages that this peptide sends out fix that. And so it is a little fountain of youth. It's like having a fountain of youth sun patch on all day long. So it's really been fun to watch these things happen, and it was out of left field for me. I wasn't expecting somebody to hand me a month's supply and get me started, and here I am 3 months later, can't shut up about it. So
it's awesome.
you
Now,
guys are
you mentioned your fascia. What is fascia?
okay. That's
Your
that's
head,
the other.
yeah, your head there, your chief
Okay.
massage therapist, right? Is that what he is? Yeah.
Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
massage therapist that I work with. He's only at our clinic 1 day a week. He's got his own practice, but he's an expert in exercise, corrective exercise, and deep tissue neuromuscular massage. And I've been pretty beat up. I was on a balcony that collapsed. I landed on my head. I got hit by a car on my bike, and I got in a really bad car accident, all in about a 3 year span, 30 years ago in college. And so I've been getting massage, stretching, chiropractic care, all kinds of things to stay upright and active. And one of the coolest things about this patch is these two young guys that work for us. One's a stretching expert. He teaches seminars for this active isolated stretching company. And then the other kid is just an amazing therapist in terms of corrective exercise and deep tissue neuromuscular. And they both have noticed that my flexibility and my tissue quality, you can, when you're a massage therapist, you work on people, you can tell if they're dehydrated or hydrated. You can tell the difference between, you know, beef jerky like muscles and soft clay, and how things bounce back. You could press on somebody's rib cage and watch it, come back quick or slowly. And so these guys, both pointed out to me that my tissue quality has changed. And that's really, these guys have, let's say, probably 30 massages a week. They work on, 30 different people each week. And so you work on somebody for 2 years, you get to know their body. And so these guys both said, "What have you been doing? Everything's different." And so that's really encouraging. I'm looking at the people I've, met in our company who are 38, 39, 40 months on the patch, and I'm looking at how none of them look their age. They all look 5 to 10 years younger, and they've got energy and vitality and hope and camaraderie and community. And so it's when you mix our company and the personalities that are attracted to the business, along with the health benefits of this patch, it really is kind of a super fun thing to be a part of. It's been a huge blessing for me. So
I love it. Love it. Well, Pete, thanks. Great getting to meet and know you so far. I love you, man. And thanks for sharing.
likewise, brother.
Yeah, great job and sharing tonight. And
Great job on that jacket, Ken.
yeah, it's my wife, man. She picks them out,
I
right?
know.
So
I know. My
she
wife's got better taste than me too. I'm gonna have her start dressing me too.
Absolutely. All right, my friend.
All
Great
right.
job.
Thank you.
Alrighty, guys. So the testimonies are profound. I'm going to finish sharing with my screen here in a minute with you. My dad had scar lungs when he was 280 pounds. He was one kidney, 12 medications, never took care of himself, 5'10", obviously not doing well. And then he gets COVID. Now I had to give him a walker because his lungs were, according to his doctor, scarred. He walked, his head was down all the time, dinner table, everything there. Couldn't walk 20 feet with a walker. Got him on the patch. 5 weeks in, he calls me. "Ken, what's up, Dad? I can breathe again. Buy me a plane ticket to go see Brittany in Louisiana." He lives in Oldsmar. I thought I was delirious. I said, "Dad, it's 10 o'clock at night. I love you. But you can't walk 20 feet with your walker. You're not going anywhere. Let's talk in the morning." 6 weeks later, he's in an Uber to Tampa International Airport and flies out to see Brittany and the great grandbabies. His lungs restored themselves. Completely blew my mind. I owned an advertising company down in Lake Ranch, Sarasota at the time, very well known down there. Had over 1,000 companies over 10 years advertised with me. So I knew a lot of people, and I'm calling all of them saying, "You got to get on this patch." I mean, what in heaven's name can do anything like this? Not to mention what it's done for my wife, what it's done for my kids, and I had a friend of mine had two frozen shoulders. He couldn't golf for 14 months with his daughter who had a golf scholarship down Lake Ranch. And within 5 days, he calls me, "Ken, I'm back on the course." So when you begin to see things with people people you love, people you care about, and you begin to realize that you're playing a part in being the next miracle for them, it gets exciting. And then you end up over time meeting people like Pete and many of you on the call here, and the miracles we've gotten to see and hear for our own personal lives and the people we love and care about. I mean, this is profound. And so I love this. And technically, and we'll get this opportunity financially retired, my wife and I, and I'm more excited and working harder than ever in my life with passion to try to get the word out and try to help people get the word out on these patches, because once you're at a point where you've got more than enough money in the bank and you can do what the heck you want, basically, you realize that the new car smell of money wears off. And what really matters in life are people. And if you can make an impact in people's lives, then your cup gets filled. And and that helps fill the cup for us, my wife and I. And so we're so excited. That's why we're excited to be on this call. I still got an hour and a half drive to drive back home after this, and we're across the Skyway Bridge, and I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? And so, because I'm anticipating out of this call that some of you who may not got on these paths yet, if it's Lord willing, you're going to get on them and your life's going to change. And this could be the very night. This could be the very time that your life changed. All right, so let's take a look at the rest of this presentation real quick here. And it's 8:27, so I honor your time and ours. Go with me here. Here we go. So the testimonies are life-changing, and we have many that have just been tear-jerking. Just crazy. So I hope you're thinking about people you love and care about right now, because all of them, the stem cells they had as a child, they're all still there, but they're dormant. And you have the ability to be the next miracle for them, to offer them an opportunity to turn them back on and let their body begin to thank them for it in all kinds of ways. From, who knows, could be their blood pressure, could be their thyroid, could be Parkinson's, could be all kinds of wild things, long-term pain, post-surgery, pre-surgery. There's a surgeon here in Tampa named Dr. Adam Shiner. He's been on Dr. Oz. He does facial surgery, eyelid surgery, and he's world renowned for it. He requires his patients to wear this patch 1 month prior to surgery because they heal in days versus weeks. And my friend who had his heart get better, he walked up to him at a convention and said, "Hey, this did it for my heart." And the doc said, "Oh, I can tell you what it is." We're like, "Yeah, please do." Because your DNA says, "I made your heart to look like this, but now it looks like that." And the brain says, "I'll go ahead and fix it." And that's how he explained it. I thought that was pretty cool. But you have so many MDs who are hugely skeptical until they do the research and the science that is sitting there in the patent and the 80 clinical trials and studies, and realize, oh, this is hardcore science. This is not baloney. And it's legit. And we have so many MDs and doctors now coming into this, getting their parents on this path, their parents' lives changed, their life being the same. They're seeing lives change of their patients they've never seen before. And we have all kinds of Zoom recordings of these doctors talking about this. We have a whole plethora of resources for you to be able to open up and see just what we're seeing on what this patch is doing. And so it's pretty profound. So the thing is, I mentioned all these clinical trials and studies. Good luck trying to find them online. You're going to find that Jesus was married if you Google Jesus. Okay. He wasn't, by the way. So Google's not exactly a good source. It's the wild, wild west of data and stuff, garbage in, garbage out. So you want to look at actually the clinical trials and studies. You go to thisisinfo.com. It's here on the bottom. This is it, info.com. This is at info.com. And we have all the clinical trials studies in here. We have David Schmidt chiming in 3 minutes how he created the past, another 18-minute section where he talks about it. We got doctors talking about this. We've got the patent on here. We've got other double-blind randomized controlled studies. You have testimonials. I mean, this is just a plethora of data at this one-page landing page that is such a blessing. So you and I don't have to be the expert because we're not. I'm an advertising guy. Right? I'm not an expert in stem cells. I'm just someone who's excited for what this patch has done since my stem cells got turned back on, and it has for my friends and family too. So you don't need to be someone you're not. I don't either. All we got to do is just share what we know about this patch and how it's changed our life, and then get people to take a further look. Send them this. All right? Take a 5-minute conversation and move on about your day. And so don't be a salesman. Don't be the movie, be the preview. And then send this link here. And then if you want, then get them on. We have all these Zooms like this and going on as well. So this company, by the way, for those of you who have a business mind, my degree is in finance. I'm a guy who creates companies. I start from nothing and create them, employ people. And that's what I did with my advertising company and other companies in the past. And this blows me away. This company was doing 20 million a year with all the other patches they had prior to COVID. Then this one patch launches during COVID, and during COVID with no advertising buys, the company goes from 20 million. And then this year they're tracking, they'll probably hit about 850 million this year, 850 million from 20 million back in 2021, 600 million last year. They've already grown over 30% this year. So we're looking at maybe 850, 900 million this year in revenue from 20 million. Okay, never skipped a beat on getting us paid, never skipped a beat on getting patches out. I mean, this company is a well-oiled 20-year-old company who's got a seasoned management team who've run billion-dollar companies before. And David Schitt's still at the helm of this company. He's not going to sell out like Beachbody did and Rodan and Fields did. They sold out to private investor groups and destroyed the distributor base and took it online. And basically, it ruins the company. And no, he is committed to us. And he loves God, he loves people. And hey, when Canada shut down wellness products coming in that country, crazy during COVID, these patches couldn't come in. All the distributors, they stopped getting paid. David said, nope, you keep paying them where they last got paid. We're going to pay them every single week until all this changes. And it would be 6 or 8 months later when that changed. And this company paid all those. That's the heart of David. And it's the heart of a well-oiled machine and a debt-free company. So I just say it to you, business-minded folks, gain some respect for this organization. And because a lot of us who are business owners, like Pete, who you just heard from, he has 6 companies, 200, almost 200 employees. We know what good business looks like and sound-minded business, and this is it. And so, hey, just 2 weeks ago, I don't know who this company is, the Biotech Breakthrough Award, but it's a pretty cool award. We just earned it for the Stem Cell Innovation of the Year with the Biotech Breakthrough Award. And 1,000 nominees from over 15 other companies throughout the world threw their name in the hat on this thing. And this company fine-tooth looks at all and said, no, this company here, this one's the winner, and that's us. And listen, what's word of mouth? It's duplication. One person shares something with one person with the heart of one reaching one. One person shares with one, you have 2. With the heart of one, 2 people will go out and reach 1 each. Now you have 4. 4 reach 1, you have 8, 16, 32, 64, whatever, 128, 256, 512, 1024. I had to memorize that. It's 10 iterations. With the heart of one reaching one, just keep doing it. You get to 2,000 people. Well, that's how word of mouth works. That's how God designed it. It makes it not hard to begin to exponentially get blessed in this opportunity to spread the word. And so the question is, hey, how are you doing? How well is your retirement funded? Are you concerned with your retirement investments if you haven't on, the economy or the future or inflation, because here's another avenue potentially to begin to, fund your retirement. Or if you could just use some extra resources because maybe you're working 2 or 3 jobs right now and you wish you were only working 1. Maybe you have a spouse who's working 2 jobs and you wish he was only working 1 or he's working 1. There is opportunity for you to be rewarded. My wife and I started sharing this, and I remember we went on a cruise 3 months after getting started in this, and by that time I had enrolled about 60 people to try these patches. And we went on a cruise to Hawaii and Bora Bora and came back $2,500 richer. I'm like, hold on a second, what just happened? I did not put my foot on the gas to make this money. I was like, honey, while we were on the beach in Bora Bora, we were making money. Because why? Because people were getting excited about seeing something they never seen before that they believed could bring blessing to their family and friends, and they wanted to call them. And they weren't calling their family and friends because they want to sell them something. I didn't call my kids, my daughter, Brittany, I didn't call my son and all my 5 children. I didn't call them up and say, hey, I've got something for you. I hope you buy it. I called them up because I found something I believe could totally change their life, and it did. And so, and the financial reward that comes from that is an added blessing should you want that. And frankly, I don't know why someone wouldn't want to have more financial reward coming to them, particularly when it's really not them punching more time to get it done, but it's the collective efforts of others getting it done. It's wisdom is what it is, because it redeems time. That's a biblical scripture, by the way. You're supposed to redeem the time in Ephesians. And I'm not going to get into this, but you're going to start a left team and a right team. Basically, what is a team? Basically, you're going to take the 4 people you love and care about in your life right now that need this. And you're not looking to build a business with them. You're looking to go get them, make them aware that these patches exist. And if you buy a certain quantity of patches and then they each buy the same quantity, well, your patches are paid for. And you're a third of the way to Hawaii. All righty. And because of just how the company rewards you for that. It's pretty crazy. And that's simple. And then all you got to do is find 3 more people to do what you just did after you enrolled. Go get their 4 people too. And you're going to Hawaii with a loved one, and you've made a lot more money also. But most importantly, you've got to see lives change. Like my daughter. my wife. My daughter, she gave birth to a Kennel May, and after that, she had postpartum hair loss. She had emotional issues going on. She had brain fog. I'm thinking, man, you're a mom. You've got three kids. One's an infant, and you're having all these issues. What pressure that must have been for my daughter. And I call her up. She gets on this patch, and the very first day, she calls me, Dad, my brain fog is gone. I clean all the drawers out in the girls' room, and I can't believe how good I feel. I'm her dad. I got to bless my daughter, and it changed her life permanently. I mean, that is awesome, right? And by the way, yes, you can make money. You can make up to $25,000 a week, blah, blah, and we have people on our team, including myself, who make more than that, which is crazy to think about. We didn't when we first came in. And yeah, but let's back this down to this patch, people you love and care about, and why it's so important for them to hear this, for them, why it's important for them to wear the patch. Hopefully that's what you're starting to see here. There's multiple ways. The company has 9 different ways to pay. I'm not going to get into that right now. And so I just want to make sure that you really get a heartfelt belief on this patch, and you're starting to think about people you love and care about, because they deserve it. They deserve to have the gift of health. And your upline, the person who invited you can talk to you more about this, that this is probably one of the most smartest business moves you'll ever make if you make a business decision with this, which you really almost don't, because you're just buying patches. That's it. And it's genius. And so here's how this thing works. The patch comes in an envelope called a sleeve. Looks like this here. There's 30 patches in this. You open it up, take it on, put it on. And $149 for 1 month supply. That is the retail rate. Okay. The wholesale rate's $99. But you can actually get it for a little cheaper one time by buying a pack. And that's what my wife and I did. On the right here, you'll see this 20 of these. And why would we buy 20? Well, first of all, it's 1 month for every 10 years of life. So I want to make sure I got 6 for me and 3 for my wife. But I want to make sure we got enough for her. And then I want an extra to be able to break open and mail and share with family and friends, and also have some on hand so I could place and replace, meaning I could place them with somebody who got signed up, and then when they got theirs in, they could replace it back to me. So at least they didn't have to wait to start wearing passes. They could start wearing passes that day. And so I want to have enough on hand to have enough supply for me and enough to get started on sharing. And within 10 days, we actually made our money back. Just doing that, 10 days, $1,750 made it back. And we were in the black, never looked back. And 22 months after that, we were making 4 times what my company paid me, that I was still running full time. Remember, it's your faith first, then it's your family, then it's your work, then this. And you keep that order, keep that balance. And that's what we did. So, and hey, if you're excited, and you can just buy these patches, just not sharing them with at all. This is just the lowest price point for you to buy enough patches for you and other people, not to make a dime, just so you can get at the lowest possible price point. The smartest move is to get a big pack of these miracles. And by the way, on a tax basis, it's a great tax write-off for year end. If you're looking for another tax benefit, it's a write-off. $1,750 plus shipping and tax, boom, written off. Smart move to get a batch of miracles of 20 of these, and get a write-off. How awesome is that? You can only do that one time. You never do that again. It's not a reoccurring. It's a one time. And if you say, Ken, I wish I had that. I'd love to do that, but I can't. I say, well, fine. Doesn't that make you mad that things are tough right now and it's tight and maybe you don't have enough, even though you like to? Well, you can get a 11 pack for $9.75. Gets it down to still $89. It's still less than $99 each. And you try that. And still gives you enough for you and your spouse to get started, enough to be able to share with other people, or enough to make sure you have so you can wear at least 1 month for every 10 years of life. Boom, there's a supply. All right. Or we have a 6-pack for $535 of 6 of these, right? And you can do a 90-day run for you and your spouse. There it is. Boom. We do a lot of these for people to at least give it a 90-day run. 1 month is not enough. Don't even waste your time. If that's all you're thinking, hey, it's been nice being with you, but you need to honor and respect yourself and this technology. Your body deserves what this patch can do. You need to give it the runway to get it done for you, right? And 90 days, that's like the minimum. What happens after 90 days? It just gets better and better and better, because scientifically, clinically, your body is beginning to get younger and within context. No, you're not going to go back to being a baby again. But like I said, gray hair, eyebrows, teeth. Come on, and we do feel and look younger, and it's just awesome. So you can get a six pack. And by the way, if you get a 6 or 11 or 20 pack, this opens up. If should you decide to say, hey, wouldn't mind getting rewarded financially from the company. Well, as long as you bought one of these one time like that, and you get on a two sleeve reorder program where it comes in every month, two of these, then that gives you 9 ways this company is going to reward you for sharing this. Just FYI. So that's how that works. My wife and I right now, to be able to make 7 figures on a minimal part-time basis, our obligation is one for me, one for her. $99 for me, 99 for her. So for $199 a month. And as a businessman, this blows my mind. I have no employees. I have no overhead. I have no franchise fees. I have no, nothing. No inventory, no overhead, no brick and mortar, nothing, nothing, nothing. All I have is one for me, one for her. I'm going to wear anyways, whether I'm making a dime or not. That is crazy. And it's awesome because everything else has already been done. Someone else makes the patches. Someone else has a customer service team. Someone else mails the patches out for us. Someone else takes care of all that. All you and I got to do is open our mouth, get it 2 of these a month, right? Each month. And and we can get blessed financially. And so that's kind of how that starts. If you buy the 20 pack, you don't have to, you don't start 2 of these for 90 days out. And if you buy the other 2 packs, you start this a month later. The person who invited you, they can share a little more detail on that, but just know to get started, you get a 6, 11, or 20 pack one time. You can't do it again. That's going to give you a sufficient supply. If you're just going to wear the patches, it's going to give them to you at the lowest possible rate. These are one-time purchases. You can't do it again. So that's how you buy those kits. Yes, there is a 3-pack for $295, gets down about $98 each. That's for those who just want to kick the tires. Maybe you're single, whatever, but you definitely don't want to be a married couple. Get on that. Or if you do, you get that 3-pack. Make sure you get 2 of these a month come in thereafter because you want to wear this 1 month for every 10 years of life. That's another way you can skin that cat. So I hope that makes sense. So once again, you don't have to share these patches. The person who's a brand partner and the person who's just going to consume it, you can get it at the same rate. One can start to share it, or one can just continue to wear it. You make the call. There's your lowest possible price points to get it. And then $99 a month thereafter, you buy one of these kits is how much it's going to be. And it's a one-click cancel. It's month to month. And so you're never locked in. There's always a 30-day back money guarantee in any point of the purchases. So it gives you and me integrity when sharing with friends or family. They don't get locked in, but they need to know it's 1 month for every 10 years of life. It's not, oh, I try it for 30 days. But hey, at the end of day 29, if you're not loving it, just from weird chance, send it back, get all your money back, right? You're good. So there really is no risk in that context. But once again, you want to wear this 1 month for every 10 years of life. And after day 90, it gets better and better and better. Well, I hope that makes sense to you. And let me just make sure I don't miss a couple things here. This is at info.com. That's the site I showed you earlier that has all the clinical trials and days and research, everything you need to see. We also have a team that we all follow. For those of you who have a business minded, we follow a system. Remember, all of us we're free agents. We do what we want, right? No one tells us what to do. We don't have a boss, nothing. We do what we want, but we're all following this system because it's the wisest way to redeem time and get patches on people you love and care about. And if you go to thisisitteam.com, you can see the formula for success we use to do that, right? And we have an amazing team. And, usually you have to buy a franchise to get all the support, get trained, spend a lot of money, leverage your house, borrow from Uncle John, whatever, and you buy yourself an amazing job. What did you do here? Spent almost nothing compared to buying a business if you're business minded. And to just get a patch of miracles to get started on sharing it, plug into our team with our system of doing that so that you continue to stay focused with your faith, your family, and your work, and then this. And we can help you win. And so that's if you're number one. If you're number two, you want to get some patches, I show you how on the price points you can get them, and right here. And if you're number one, you still want to do more research. Well, this is where you're going to find it right here. This is at info.com. And so there you go. And I hope this has been resourceful for you. It's been an honor for me to have spent this time with you. Please do get back with the person who invited you. Do thank them. They care enough for you. and hopefully, hopefully you see what we see, and which is the people you love and care about deserving to hear about this too, as well as yourselves. And so, get back to the person who invited you, and it's been an honor to be with you. You all have a very blessed night, and hopefully I'll see you again, hopefully on the Zoom or maybe in person sometime. And if I don't get to talk to you sooner, have a most Merry Christmas and God bless you all.